Awesome. Hello, everybody. I am here with Guy Gilchrist. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing wonderful now that I'm here. I have just a couple questions for you. So, you're the creator of the original The Muppets comic strip starting at age 24 and had the leading role at Jim Henson's creative team, working on Muppet Babies, Fraggle Rock, and more, and even have been the author of like 50-plus children's books. What's the fan reaction been like for you at this con? Is it more children or the adults who grew up with your work?
It's really all of the above. In that, I've been at this now. I guess Jim hired me 43 years ago, and so we really have like 3 generations. There was just before you arrived, there were these little children and their parents were telling me about how they used to get the VHSs and watch it with their grandparents. So that was like 4 generations. So it's wonderful that Jim is remembered and that I'm a part of that.
Well, you're carrying on his legacy in the best way possible, truly. I actually grew up with the Muppets. I loved watching the original Muppets show as well. It's honestly my best part of my childhood. The Muppets truly mean a lot to me. It's always my favorite. So what was it like working with Henson and his company?
The short version, I'll give you a long one too, but what I always tell people is, you've watched the interviews with Jim or behind the scenes things, and you have a thought in your head, like what it might be to be with him, and to talk with him for a few minutes. What I always say is, you take that dream, times it by 100, and you're sort of close. He was the sweetest guy, and he really, there's a very overused thing where they say, oh, they made me feel like family. Well, we really were. And Jim made the effort to let you know how beloved you were. We were impacted heavily by, we're the most popular characters in the world at the time. And like even my drawings, my writing and drawing, the comic strip was being read every day by 80 million people. Now I'm doing that. Jim's busy doing Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, all the Muppet movies, etc., the television shows, Fraggle Rocks. I'm working on Babies and doing that. Well, Jim would take the time from London, from anywhere he was, to call me, leave me messages, send me telegrams, because I wasn't on the sound stages. I was in the art department, and I was even one step away in my own art studio in Connecticut, and sometimes in New York. But Jim would make that effort on a weekly basis to let me know how that he was reading everything, that he was okaying everything, and how much he loved us.
Amazing. So he really put in the effort to appreciate his art, like every single department, and especially you working so closely. I'm sure it was just life-changing. I mean, how has it been for you? What's it like being such an incredible, impactful person, artist?
Well, after Jim passed away, and I was doing my own books, as you mentioned in the intro, and I also became art director for Warner Brothers, MGM, United Artists, worked on and off for Disney for 50 years. Well, anywhere that I went, becoming the creative director, the publishing director, whatever it happened to be, I took the lessons that Jim had given me. He looked at every project as being very important and very personal, and knew that the fans out there would appreciate all the attention to detail. So on every toy, every place that we worked, every little thing that we did, I always tried to make it special for Jim, and then that made it special for you guys. Well, then when I went to other places, this was completely foreign to them. It was like, oh, well, we stamp Bugs Bunny on everything.
Right. How many years have you been doing this, like cons and everything?
Oh, cons?
Yeah.
Not that long, really. Maybe 10 years or something.
Are you liking it? Oh
my gosh, I love it. And as you were mentioning, the legacy of Jim, it's wonderful that Disney and also Brian, they keep Jim's characters alive doing things, but it's very important to keep Jim's character alive as well. And so I love telling the stories
I love
and telling them to the children that may know who Kermit is, but they don't know who the man behind Kermit is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's truly amazing. Like, to hear it, I'm getting a little bit choked up. When I was in second grade, I actually did they were like, you need to do a biography in front of everybody, and it can be on anybody that interests you.
Really?
So all my friends are doing like different basketball players, different like presidents, and I'm like, I'm gonna do Jim Henson. So what I did in second grade.
So what was it like?
Yeah.
What did you write?
So
what did you do?
it was second grade, so of course it was so long ago, a million years ago. But I ended up, I made a beard out of felt, and I wore a beard in front of my entire classroom. And I went up on, like, in front of everybody talking about just like growing up with the Muppets and how much it meant to me. And I loved just not only the characters and how they were brought to life, but the like performance and the art that came with it, and how impactful it was for me. Like, I just wanted to share that with the world. So it's an honor to sit with you today,
Well,
truly.
you know, I loved hearing that, and the really neat thing about what Jim did and what I was able to be a small part of is that all of that silliness, right? The littlest child, okay, like you were when all of that was happening, you could feel how much he loved you and how much all of those characters love you.
Yeah.
You know, we look at this picture behind me, okay?
Yeah.
Like this picture behind, this is like day one, and this is in the basement at 117 East 69th Street. This is at the Muppet Workshop where, see behind here, these drawers?
Yeah.
Well, these are all full of felt and fur and things, and we're making Muppets back there, right?
So cool.
Well, and you know, and children will see this, and I go, oh yeah, that little punk, that's me, you know, but like, they're alive. We look at Fozzie, and everybody loves him. He's all these insecurities and everything, and telling you the jokes. I see little tiny babies in strollers, and they'll like drop their tippy cup, their tippy Tommy cup, whatever it is, and they go waka waka, and it's like
you see that,
I know.
and you're like,
mind blowing. Yeah.
well, that's just.
Oh, look here, it's Piggy though.
Oh, yeah.
Calling her agent, day one, get me out of here.
Such a diva, honestly. But do we blame her? She's working with this guy right here in the middle.
For real.
For real. Awesome. Well, speaking of your art, can we draw a little?
Who do you want to draw?
It's up to you. I'm gonna leave it in your hands.
They're all in here. What do you want to draw?
Okay.
Muppet.
Oh gosh, pick a Muppet.
Pick a Muppet.
Let's do. Should we go classic and go with Kermit, or should we go crazy and go with Animal?
You're getting Animal. All right.
Let's do Animal.
Okay, yeah, okay, because the Muppet Mayhem just started.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got his own show. And did you hear that the Electric Mayhem's album is #1 on Billboard?
Is it really?
It really is.
I love it. Can we picture that? That's my favorite one.
There we go. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, we get some Animal.
Okay. Can you see it?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
He is rock and roll.
He's truly rock and roll. He's my mom's favorite character as well. I'm gonna get a picture of this as well.
What's a riot is when you meet. I've had I live in Nashville, and even when I was in New York, I would meet all of these drummers, famous drummers. Ringo Starr.
Oh, really?
You know, Ringo in his drum kit has a stuffed animal. Mick Fleetwood, stuffed animal. Mick Fleetwood told me that all of these years with Fleetwood Mac, that, you know, he'd lose, you know, the stuffed animal, because he went all the way back to the original Fisher-Price one, you know, and I go in his dressing room, and there it is. You know, the most amazing thing that Ringo did, that he certainly didn't have to do or anything, when I met him and I gave him a picture of Animal, he held it up to his face, you know, like this, and said, and now the world's most famous drummer and the world's second most famous drummer are together. And he gave me a wink. You know, like, and which is which, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a rock star thing to do.
That's so iconic, especially coming from him.
Oh, I know, right?
Definitely. This is looking amazing. It's so cool to see the artist in front of me at work. It's making my childhood dreams come true, truly. Oh my gosh.
Another Kermit.
So cool. Oh, hello.
Hi. Oh, there he is.
Kermit the Frog here.
Hi, home.
Hi ho. Kermit the Frog. Wow. Rock on. That is so good.
Well, you know, 43 years.
Wow.
A couple more lessons, I'll go pro.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll go pro.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Well, thank you for drawing that for us. Like, the fact that you were able to make that so quick was just crazy to me. Like, it's so cool to see it just right in front of me. Are you serious? Really?
Never serious. That's how I'm a cartoon.
Oh, that's right.
I'd lose my job if I was serious.
Oh, really? Well, thank you so much. This is truly, like, this means the world. I'm framing this and I'm putting it on my bedroom wall. You know what? I'm going to put it in my kitchen. This is really cool. Well, thank you. Do you have anything that you want to mention? Anything coming up? Or what's new?
Well, you know, you can always go to the website, you know, which is A Guy Gilchrist Production. And one of the fun things is if you go over there to the website you can get there from all of my socials and all that stuff. You click on that. I send you a Muppet newsletter about once a month telling you a story about me and Jim and stuff like that, or Chuck Jones and the different people that I've had an opportunity to work for. So people seem to really enjoy that.
Definitely. Well, I will definitely be subscribing. You guys should definitely subscribe to the Muppet newsletter as well and follow him on all of his social media. Keep up with everything he's doing. Thank you, ICCC Livestream, for tuning in with me and Guy Gilchrist. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your live stream. Bye, everybody.